Alright guys, here we go with a live look at the beta of Killing Floor 3, so yeah. It was something I kind of anticipated, and gotta say unfortunately, not really gonna try to pretend otherwise. It is pretty disappointing. It is not what I was hoping to see at all. So in this stream we'll be having a live look at the game itself, at the response mechanics, and yeah, unfortunately this time around the negativity around it was quite justified. It sucks. I was hoping for something else, but it is what it is. There is only so much you can do, so just gotta make sure I can see your comments and everything. Repost the link to the stream on the channel's Discord. Some folks to join from there. And yeah, we'll get right into the action. Alright, I should be able to see your comments very soon. And of course, in the meanwhile, the featured print still is the cat in the window. Which is awesome. As I was saying, it isn't just a cute cat painting, it's quite classy by itself, so yeah, I do very much like this one. Was a legendary reference and really cool painting. The links are in the description, so yeah, let's get right into it. And to begin with a somewhat of a more, let's say, positive note, I will begin with the rifle. And you'll see why, because if I begin with the shotgun, it will be rambling from the very bloody get-go. Matchmaking off. Alright, so hello to everyone who joined. Mr. Penguin, yes. Well, it isn't the cipher that is the issue here. Technically, it could be a good setting. That isn't the issue here, in my opinion. Hello, Gnome Salad. Hello, Storytelling Sanctuary. Welcome, yeah, I am doing those every Sunday. So, some of the issues here are indeed kind of like beta issues that are gonna be fixed later on, but some things here are definitely more than just better roughness. So what you will have, okay, so in terms of the cool things, what you will have is damage painting. A multi-layer response. Where parts of the characters are gonna be carved out, and another very cool thing is, as you can see, characters can survive some limb dismemberment, so you'll be seeing downed characters crawl towards you, and it's actually very cool because I was talking about it in many reviews about how cool it would be seeing that, and what the hell. And here we actually have it, so that is props to them. Absolutely. And yeah, the damage painting, particularly when it comes with explosives, can deliver some very nice results. That and the whole surviving dismemberment thing. So as you can see, the damage painting also applies to burning, so you've probably seen it in the previews. Characters will get burned at the point where they should burn, so it won't be just an all over the body burning. So as you can see, like, some parts here are more charred, some are less. How about this guy? So as you can see, we do have, it's kind of like poor lighting over here. Probably gotta find a bit of a different spot for the showcase. I do gotta kill some in a more well-lit location, probably here perhaps. Hopefully should be good enough for the showcase to just show you the good parts of it. The multiplayer is very nice, indeed. Works as you would expect. And I think the surface may be bugged in terms of blood. Let's see if I'm correct. So let's get a whole bunch here. Need something and no, yeah, so yeah, no, you actually do have blood working here, so okay, that's kinda weird. And as you can see, I shot him, I reviewed some ribs. Cool stuff. Yeah, this place is beautiful for a showcase, I hope. I should get back to it after I get rid of most. Because the lighting there is just beautiful. You know what, let's perhaps paint it a little bit. Do some painting of our own here. Get over here, get over here, get over here. And yeah, so one thing that it will very much do is on the moment of impact, it will paint the environments very, very liberally. Don't need to kill the flamethrower guys. And yeah, one thing that is an issue is the response for the larger guys is quite poor, so do I still have the crawling guy here? Nah, seemingly not. But as I was saying, at least on the grenades, you have a whole bunch of stains spawned, but you will still have characters shoot blood out of their stumps and not stain a damn thing, so that is still an issue. Right, yeah, so let's, I have 5 characters, let's do some painting here. They are already partially painted, so I'm just don't get to do the whole artistry here, but yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, you know, they were just see, they were just seared. They weren't like cooked well done, they're just seared, and the moment you kind of, oh yeah, so the arm was cooked well done, as you can see. Yeah, it's cooked through, like I removed chunks and they are cooked where I removed them, so the arm was cooked very nicely through. Yeah, the leg was just seared along with the torso, and basically, yeah, some parts of it are actually cooked well, as you can see. Partially well done, partially just seared. Perhaps even leaning towards the medium rare, I would say. But yeah, but on gunfire, this is gonna be the response. You will have deformation. When the character's skin isn't charred, you will have some blood spilling there too. And it won't always, yeah, there's gonna be issues sometimes. Actually, of all things, I'm not gonna be busting their balls about that specifically, and I do need to rearm. Because next wave is coming pretty soon. Alright. Yeah, speaking of bodies expanding too fast, very true. You have a limit of about 5 to 7, give or take, and yep. So for example this, you just won't be seeing this. Chunks despawn pretty much immediately. Oh no, nades. Chunks despawn pretty much immediately, and as you'll see, the upper torso of the body also despawns very quickly, which is an issue. And characters get cut in half way too easily. You'll probably see it many times in the stream. It is an issue that this game has. Very overly liberal activation of cutting in half as we have here. In the case of this gun, also pretty obscenely large particles for some reason. It isn't as bad on the other guns actually. I think might be my first time using this thing specifically, so yep. Alright, let's see your comments here. Yeah, it's gonna be early access in a month, and yeah, it's... As I was saying a little bit earlier in the stream, some issues here are... yeah, like some things are just better roughness. I'm gonna be giving them a hard time about it, but... there are some pretty major design issues here. In terms of gore too. Yeah, let's explode them. Pile up here, pile up here, pile up here. Alright, this will do. Right, back to your comments. Hey, thank you, TJ. Yeah, Soldier of Fortune 2 is a classic. It's basically timeless at this point. It's absolutely awesome. Interestingly, at the moment, no good mods for it, but I think... was it Jojo? The guy who made the Call of Duty mods? Looking into enhancing it? I think so. It's basically a very similar engine to the CODs and... Anyway, as I'm saying, I may have actually some subject matter for a killing for a Soldier of Fortune 2 mods video. Hopefully, Jojo, if it's you, if you're gonna be doing this, please, can't wait. Let's see. Yeah, hopefully it's gonna be an i9 config, because I don't know for a fact that the devs have acknowledged the, you know, basically the configurability. It was not hidden on purpose, and yeah, they were very much aware of it, and hopefully we'll be seeing it here as well, absolutely. Just to look at that, yeah, so that's one of the issues that this game has. Trenton, doing well, thank you, doing well. Quite disappointed with many of the issues of this game, including the very lacking mass. At the moment I am not aware of a way to get bodies and beats to stay, which is a big downgrade from KF2. It was a, as folks were saying here, it was a pretty big feature in KF2, and we don't have it here, we just don't. So hopefully we'll have at least that, because some things I'm just not gonna be expecting. So for example, weighted ragdolls, shotguns that feel good. Those are the things that this game's gonna need a whole redesign to make them happen, so I'm not even counting on it, to be honest. But things like configurable mass, bodies and body part staying, I think absolutely should be in. Divine Light, opinion on the game as a whole, not a fan, it's just... I will say it like this, it is overly inspired by things that it shouldn't be inspired by. It's kind of an issue that Battlefield had, because if you remember Battlefield 2, let's say the early Battlefield games like 1942, Battlefield 2, and I think there was... and let's say also 2142, I think I haven't really played it very much, but it seems to be still in that vein. So the early Battlefield games, they had their own identity. It was awesome. Like it was a very cool experience of its own. It very much stood out from everything you had back at the time. And then, you know, we had Bad Company 2 come out, and the Battlefield series began taking cues from games like Call of Duty, later apparently fucking hero shooters, as we saw with the latest one, I think 2042, whatever it was. And Battlefield began taking inspirations from all the wrong things. And it is to some degree the case here as well. It is inspired by some of the live service games. It has... it doesn't feel as weighty as the previous KFs. Like, KF2 felt quite weighty and still... And, you know, if you still play it in single player, it's still a decently good experience. If you play it in multiplayer, you have people running around with really silly skins and colorful guns. But in single player it's still pretty good, but here you actually have colorful guns from the get-go. Might as well show you. I saw purple guns, I think. Stuff like that. Green guns for acid or something. Just ridiculous stuff. It really doesn't feel as weighty as KF2. The atmosphere, nowhere as good as KF1, and I haven't played KF1 very much, but I am to some degree familiar with it. I remember them being colorful, maybe just the background, but never mind. Probably just the background, and I automatically assumed the gun's gonna be colorful as well, and it will be. Skins are definitely happening. A teacher I think I still might have, so I did have an account on Teespring. I saw a few t-shirts saying however there are issues. I actually have one laying around here. I think on the older videos, probably if you watch the Gore reviews from the 2019, the link is still there, I still have that account. You know, unlike the art prints, like the one we have here, right behind me, the cat, I'm not gonna be shipping that to you. Perhaps I'll make t-shirts myself here and I'll be shipping those as well. Who knows why the hell not. But yes, so if you want the shirt, I do have those, saying however there are issues, and if you wanna get something from me, you can get a print or a mug from the art store. I'm actually gonna be shipping a mug tomorrow to someone who ordered in the state of Kansas, actually, my first shipment to Kansas. Shipped 20 to Florida, shipped 20 to New York, Los Angeles. Not a single one to Kansas. Shipped some to Nevada, I think, even in the Las Vegas area actually. That was pretty cool. Alright, yes, so I do want to read your comments. I'm kind of missing out a lot, sorry guys, but... or rambling about this game, but I do kind of have to. It's... essentially, it is first and foremost about this subject matter. But the live Q&A is a fun part of it. I hugely enjoy it. So, let's see. The best game regarding Rego physics. So, asked by Filmy Collejoe. Yep. So, the one that immediately comes to mind to me, and it isn't necessarily the best one, but it definitely isn't the best one because I'll say right away why. So the one that immediately comes to mind to me is Ground Branch, and it has really nice ragdolls, very impactful. You know, it's pretty simple. It's like there's no euphoria there. There's nothing too complicated, but it just feels good, and You've done a great job with those. Don't want to die. Throw that. So that is the one that comes to mind immediately. Insurgency Sandstorm as well. Very, very good. Half Sword shaping up to be quite great in terms of everything physics-wise and everything gore-wise. What the hell is that? Yeah, so, well, not quite colorful weapons. I've seen electric weapons, I've seen freezing weapons, and that shit is silly, guys. They've entirely forgotten the whole bullets, blades and blood thing from Killing Floor 2, which is hugely unfortunate. And here we go, yeah, a large, totally unresponsive bullet sponge. Not a fan of this, not a fan of this whatsoever, so okay, on the topic of specialists, the question by Lukachu, gotta say I don't really have terribly strong feelings about the specialists, because I don't really care about the characters in this game ever. Like, I did care about the specialist thing in Battlefield, in the Battlefield games, because I am old enough to remember Battlefield 2, where you were just playing as regular grunts. That was awesome. You're just a regular guy on the Battlefield. It was pretty awesome. And so when you have like silly hero characters in Battlefield, I do take issues with that. But here, yeah, like I never really had terribly strong feelings towards characters in Killing Floor, so of all things I can ramble for hours about, and I can. Gotta be honest, the specialists ain't one of them. For me, subjectively, personally. So as for the larger characters, as you can see, they will get painted in blood. I think there might be some multi-wearing there. But the metal beats also. They can also just get painted in blood. I've seen very little damage to metal beats actually. I can't say I haven't seen any, so the mask on the Scrake can come off. And I have seen on a smaller guy, I think I've seen damage on a metal beat on one of the smaller guys, but that is about the extent of it. Most of it is gonna be entirely unresponsive and kind of as I was expecting, to be honest. You know, the moment I saw in the trailers the metal beats, I knew it's gonna be... I knew those won't respond. They never do. And why would this be an exception? Alright, moving on, moving on. Yeah, it is a closed beta. Gotta say, I heard many praises about the ragdolls of Max Payne 3. I personally never felt it. Yeah, like it's kinda good, definitely, like for sure, but to be honest, I'm not really a huge fan of Max Payne 3. It has some cool things going for it, but one of my personal issues with Max Payne 3 is the actually very small environments. It felt very small. It felt like the game kind of wants you to run around and kind of like move around, jump around, but many of the locations were very, very tight and you couldn't quite do it, so it was a little bit strange to me. Not a bad game whatsoever, but I honestly feel a little bit less enthusiastic about it than perhaps most people. Though I will say the blood and gore mods for it are very, very good, so I did enjoy covering those because, if you recall, the pinkish blood on the characters was kind of an issue. Now as for the mass, you will see like very, very soon the... Come on, come on, come on. Yep! So as you can see, the top halves of characters have just entirely vanished. Yeah, the ragdolls in GTA 4 were very nice. It definitely, yep. I do agree with TG here. I remember playing it at, I think it was 2008, and being really impressed because back then, no game out there did anything remotely as good, like. Do you remember trying to run characters over in Crisis? And yeah, like you had the ragdoll, but it wasn't very satisfying. Then you know you had GTA come out with Euphoria, with it being used for cars. That was bloody awesome. And yeah, and apparently the explosion just gave the character. And as you can see, like, so giving. I have talked about it in the upcoming gore video. Nothing remained. Just some stains. None of the gibbs and none of the beats. Abso-fucking-lutely nothing. But as you can see some damage painting here. Oh, he's a big fat bone. He's big boned, he isn't fat, he's just big. He's just big boned, as you can see. Very, very big boned. Yeah, so might as well showcase the metal beats even on the small guys. It don't respond, so perhaps this one kind of does. I think I have seen some damage on it on the kind of center one, but this stuff won't break off, won't show any damage whatsoever. KF2 things like no ragdoll reactions when shooting is probably the smallest issue with the ragdolls, like he just gets sent flying. With your username you clearly remember the ragdolls of Killing Floor 2 and how impactful those were. And here you just have shitty ragdoll. Like seriously. Which is a huge downgrade from Killing Floor 2. And I can't believe they did it. Like, you don't have to enhance it. You just don't ruin it, and they absolutely ruined the ragdolls here. The ragdolls here are seriously bad. Just, you know, like, if you remember, like, some... Alright, one more issue here. As you can see, the guy exploded into a circular pattern. But I haven't seen, like, why do we have circular patterns there as well? So I have seen those on the floor after explosions, absolutely. But I have not seen the ring on walls. Perhaps there is a Keras tape I gotta share now with at least one more person. Maybe I'll get to survive. Maybe. Thank you, Bubazar. I'll appreciate it. Let's say they want to read your comments and do kind of want to survive in this game, and let's see what else you guys are saying. Shotgun hobo. Well, yeah, that is a fairly accurate description for sure. Thank you, Bubozar. Yeah, there's plenty more to come. I'm currently working on several videos, and yeah. And as I was saying, once again, I don't think that the issue here is hugely just better roughness. It is a factor here, but there are some core design issues that are beyond just needs more time in the oven. You know, Moab, we do have some, I do know some splitter specialists. Galaxy, Kazano, their work is beautiful. And by the way, do stay tuned on Wednesday, I'll be releasing publicly the review of Kazano's mod for Half-Life Alyx. You actually get some combined snuff. Like seriously, I never saw like a result in Half-Life look that brutal. He did an awesome job. Ah, so the flamethrower guy kind of sounds like Chris Barnes, huh? Could have sworn I heard Torture! I can't do death metal vocals, but I do want to learn that. Kinda sounded like Chris Barnes. Prince Papa, yes, as I was saying earlier in this stream, the game is basically heavily inspired by things it shouldn't be inspired by. That is, many modern live service games and all of that crap. Which led it to lose much of its identity. The kind of things people like killing 4 for, which is hugely unfortunate. Hugely unfortunate. He does sound like fucking Chris Barnes. Almost feel bad about killing him. Like, he's my favorite poet. Yeah, so the circular patterns are really strange, and why are they on walls too? What the hell is that? I haven't even actually seen it before. It's really strange. As I was saying, the metal beats are entirely unresponsive, so the response is for those guys, you shoot them with heavy weapons. You know, the small guys, they'll just get cut in half on pretty much every torso shot, which is a big downgrade from KF2. Times will be obliterated. And you shoot the big guys, and there's no response on the metal beats, and some degree of painting and multi-wear damage on the fleshy beats, but it really doesn't feel great. So the response for the small guys is very samey. And that is why I'm using rifles, because if you use shotguns, the response is shit. But for rifles you can still get cool results, like you won't always cut them in half. And the multi-wear activation on explosions is quite cool. Like, once again, the multi-wear here is quite cool, and instead of relying on this to be the key response for many things, we just have the very cheapo dismemberment used for a lot. Shotgun blasts, anywhere in the torso, cut in half. Or obliterated at times. Throw a grenade. Most characters get just, they just get cut in half. Or, once again, obliterated. And the ones who do get the chunks torn off look quite cool, so that is a miss out. That is just a big fat miss out. Because the damage painting, the multi-wear here is indeed very nice. It's very cool. Of course, not Dead Island 2 tier, not half sword tier. A few games are, but it's not bad. And once again, the metal beats are unresponsive. I'm still waiting for a game that's gonna make fights with large characters feel responsive, and no one did it, including Dead Island 2. Alright, getting back to your comments, getting back to your comments. I don't remember blood dripping from ceilings in Cave 2. Yeah, so I will say actually, in terms of Dying Light 2, I actually enjoyed Dying Light 2 more than I did in Dying Light 1, to be honest. And primarily because Dying Light 1 was kind of designed to have you... It kind of like wanted you to parkour around the characters. Didn't want you to fight them very much. But in Dying Light 2, it didn't mind it, and it was okay. I wasn't very good with the Dying Light 2 combat, but I actually enjoy the fact that it is a little bit more meant for fighting than Dying Light 1. So I'm actually perhaps one of the few folks who legitimately like Dying Light 2 more than Dying Light 1. And they eventually got the gore to be mostly on par. Or they do still have some pretty major issues, of course, with the huge splashes going into absolutely nowhere. That was a very weird call, to be honest. Not sure what's up with that. Moab, we all do, but... Yeah, things are getting more and more interesting in terms of response mechanics. Unfortunately, Killing Floor 3 is not one of those examples. Hey, for a change I actually saw him lose an arm, not to get cut in half, so that's kind of refreshing, I was saying. See, like, I shoot him, he doesn't get cut in half. That should be the response for everyone, tripwire. What the hell? Yeah, so I shoot him, no cutting in half. I shoot some more guys, cut in half. And as you can see, he was flying over there, spraying blood over the place, and of course none of it stained. So as I was mentioning, you have a good amount of staining at the moment of the explosion, but afterwards, yeah, nothing. Now the thing you have when you press X, it's basically a desponger. It actually helps you deal with the bullet spongy characters, so I don't mind it. So perhaps I can showcase on him some... no, I probably won't be able to showcase anything on him. If I'll even be able to survive. Which isn't a given. So as you can see, like, no damage to the metal bits. If I would shoot the mask would break off. But other than that, nothing. I'm probably gonna die. Looking pretty green for my character, but hey. What can you do? Gonna use the sponger now. Highly useful against the spongy guys. Highly useful. Yep, I'm not surviving this one. No way. Yeah, best damaged metal bits. I don't think there's anyone I'm familiar with, to be honest. Yeah, like really nothing comes to mind. Some have a few like basic mechanics of stuff breaking off. But yeah, nothing that would be just mind-blowing, to be honest. Alright, so let's do one more. Thank you, Rayox. Ah, Macrinchi, your account got hacked actually. I got a scam link from you earlier today. Weebs, bodies disappear, bodies vanish. There's a limit of about 5 or 7 and... Yeah, dude, your Discord. Macrinchi, your Discord. I got a scam link from you, like some Steam gift card scam. Yeah, I shit you not, like today, a few hours ago. Unless you're someone else who is using this username. You are the guy who has the RDR2 mod, right? The one with the ragdolls? Maybe you just maybe just a username coincidence. Back to your comments. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, no way to configure the bodies at the moment. But it's gotta be a feature. It was a very key thing in Killing Floor 2. So I'd be surprised if it's gonna be entirely overlooked. Hugely doubt. Here's the hand variation. Yeah, so what you basically have for the hands is you either get entirely cut off or you have that that kind of flappy bit. As you can see, he was blown up and from the directions of explosion is where you see the damage, which is pretty cool. I am a fan of this system. Yeah, so glad to give you the heads up, man. Yeah. Alright, Costanza, yeah, I'll tell you what. I was looking forward to it, and I will probably make an impressions video, which is gonna be much like this, without the chat interactions. I'm not sure I'm gonna be covering it on release. I probably won't bother with a full review on release, to be honest. It is quite disappointing. And the issue here is, as I was mentioning once again, and I'll reiterate, the issue here is design decisions, not so much things that can be fixed by a little bit more time in the oven. Unfortunately. Like, I take no joy at this. I was hoping to still be able to enjoy it. I'm really not seeing it. That's how many bodies? 1, 2, 3. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have a 6? Yeah, we have a 6, 7, yeah. So it is about 7, I suppose. This guy is pre-made, yeah. He's pre-made. As for who was asking about the upcoming releases, Moav, yes, so Wreckfest coming in, I think perhaps 2 weeks or so, and I can't wait. Even if it is more of the same, just slightly bit better, I'm gonna enjoy it. So Wreckfest is my, at the moment, most anticipated game. It's coming out very soon. Can't wait to cover it. I have some coverage plans. Of course a full review as well. As you may have seen, we had a character here survive an arm dismemberment, so I shot him in the arm, blew his arm off, and yeah, this one, yeah. So one of the cool things this game has is characters surviving limb dismemberments, so it with arms, you have it with legs, and yeah, that is indeed cool stuff. So let's see how many battles I'll have piled up. That's kind of look like it's... What the hell is that? Ah, yeah, so look at that. So I had them pile up here. I look away for like a split second and they're gone. To that 5 to 7 bodies limit. Yep. I was just, am I wrong about the bodies limit? Nope. And you know, instead of sophisticated systems to kind of temporarily bullshit you for a little while, why not configurability? This guy also survived arm dismemberment, huh? And as you can see, I blew his leg off, and there he goes. There he goes. Foreskin monster. Yeah, so the damage painting is cool. The factor of surviving dismemberment is very cool. Credit is where it is due. We have many issues here, but the damage painting is cool. Hey Yuji, hello Yuji, yeah, I haven't seen your comments before. He's very active on the channel's Discord. And he's a big fan of the game is called Dead Frontier. Yeah, I never played it, but he's a big fan. He's always posting screenshots. And the issue with grenades is you'll often have the response for the most part is gonna be either cutting in half, obliteration, and few characters are just gonna lose a limb or just have an activation of the multi-wear, which is a shame because when characters lose limbs, when you have activation of the multi-wear, and they still survive and they crawl at you with like half their fucking leg back mangled, it looks quite awesome. Like, seriously impactful. It can do that, like, you can have impactful moments here, but for the most part, they get cut in half. They get obliterated. Most of everything vanishes, and yeah. Once again, like, the features for a better response are here for the most part. At least in some aspects. Once again, another look at the head stump. And the nade's gonna be a good solution for that problem. Try to use the sponger. I have one west guy somewhere. Yes, so I am familiar with Standbox. I do essentially want to make a video about this and Godbox because out of all of the ragdoll torture games, those are the two that really stand out, that really are special, and but I'm kinda bummed that are currently only available in the format of ragdoll torture, to be honest. Like, I really wish we would see the Standbox tag be used in the game. Oh yeah, Cruelty Squad, like, I'll be honest. It's the kind of games, like, if I ever want to quit gaming, I'll play that. Because I see it and I just get depressed. Like, yeah, it has a huge appeal, like, many folks I know love it. But for me, it's just not my thing, man. And here we have explosion and circular pattern. Rating for this one out of 10, let's see, so the body damage has some cool features, but has some serious activation issues. It's gonna be hard to give it one rating. Blood spinning is mostly like what you have in Killing Floor 2. So it's kind of like the painting of Killing Floor 2, just more consistent. That's good, but not a big step up. In that regard, and the animations are an issue. The ragdolls here are shit. There is no nice way about it, unfortunately. Which is once again huge disappointment if you compare it to Killing Floor 2, which had very cool active ragdolls, if only that was enhanced. Or for the very least, not ruined. And once again, the metal bits on the characters are not responsive. Neither on the small guys and not on the spongy ones, so man. See, here's why I had to make scores. Because the feel for me is like a 4 or 5 out of 10, to be honest. Though even just using the features we have here could easily be like 7, 8 at least, with just some reconfiguration of activation stuff. I do have my this sponger. Yeah, go to hell, go to hell, go to hell, all of you. Not you the viewers, but those ladies. Once again, the spongy characters here are just not fun. The damage to the meaty bits feels limited, the metal bits take no damage, and so they take heaps of damage, but you don't feel like you're tearing them apart, which is the big issue here. Yeah, Razzo, I gotta agree, and I think I'll probably stream KF2 next week, because just to really like confirm it's the case and not just rose tinted glasses. And once again, I just give a small burst into this guy and he... At least those, like... Yeah, they can take abuse, they don't fall apart easily. It's probably a bug. But yeah, look at this, I just put a burst into this guy and he's cut in half and his legs are off. Really just and this guy, yeah, so he's gonna get some blood painted, as you can see. He's gonna get some blood painted. He's gonna get his mask removed. But no damage on the metal bits. Not on him, not on the flashbound. There we go. Yeah, so no damage on the metal bits. They really can't emphasize, like the moment I saw them in the trailers I knew those won't respond, those ain't gonna be responsive. And I was hoping that I'd be wrong. I even mentioned it twice on the channel. Like, yeah guys, make the metal bits responsive please. But yep. Cool VR game called Brutal what? I have to have the jump up a little bit. And once again, no stains here, as you can see. And I think I heard Chris Barnes again. Brutalistic, I haven't heard it. Once again, can't emphasize enough the lack of damage on the metal bits and the difference it will make here, so you wanna feel like you tear them apart, like what you do actually kind of matters, and what we have now is to some degree better than KF2 for sure, like couldn't expose their ribs in KF2, right? But nonetheless, yeah, I'm dead. But you don't really feel like you're tearing them apart, which is of course the big issue here, and I survived this with 30 health points, glorious. Hey, cheers, man. Yeah, so credit is where it is due. The body damage for the spongier guys is better here for sure, but it still isn't great, unfortunately. Huh. Can't get ammo bag, it seems. Alright guys, let's get this bullet sponge and get done with this. Once again, like I was... You know, before the announcement I was kind of hoping that when killing 4-3 was a hypothetical thing, I was hoping that it would be the game to make bullet sponge characters be responsive. But it didn't. You can bloody them up to some degree, you can remove some flesh, which is better than what you have in many games, but nonetheless you are still just repeatedly shooting a large, unresponsive character. At least on normal difficulty it isn't too bad. I've seen worse. Hey Chris. And there we have it. Le epic boss fight. Oh Moav, I remember the vision of bullet, blades and blood, and you know what, I do actually gotta do it, I think one more run, or at least half a run with the shotgun. To show you just why I'm bummed with the shotgun. So, if you guys recall, my absolute favorite weapon in KF2, if you watch the streams early on, or even the more recent one, KF2 is by far my favorite. The shotgun in KF2 is by far my favorite thing there. And here, well, I'll show you the response for the shotgun here. Yeah, Divine Light, basically what I'm covering in the channel is what I'm playing. So I've had a pretty good time in Tarkov, covering the Visceral Combat mode. I will say, Half-Life Alyx, it's coming out this Wednesday, I did not enjoy, to be honest. Like, I don't like being with the VR thing very much, and you know, I do enjoy VR combat, it's very awesome, but I don't want to do anything in VR other than combat. And there you have just heaps of fluff around, and puzzles, and dialogues written by Reddit millennials. not in a good way. So as you can see, as I was mentioning before, almost every shot to the torso will result in a character being cut in half. There are exceptions. Occasionally you will miss and just remove an arm, or just remove the head, which appears to be the case now, but the vast majority of torso hits with a shotgun on a small characters will result in him being cut in half. And it is actually a pretty big downgrade compared to KF2, because if you remember, in KF2, let's say you shoot the center mass, the response will vary based on where you hit, so they could be cut in half, which would usually happen on explosions, but you also had like horizontal cuts, like right here. So if you shoot him here, that part flies off. You shoot the other like half, that part flies off. You shoot the stomach, there is a whole variation. Here, if you hit the torso and not the head by accident, he'll be cut in half. Almost every single time, and yeah, if you see something like a head blown off, it's pretty much an accident. You know, I probably will like hard-booted, to be honest. And in terms of Half-Life Alyx, there was basically one mission I really liked, which was kind of like in the Half-Life style locations, and it was just combat, none of the nonsense. I think I have it linked in the video, which will be out this Wednesday. Or now on Patreon for all the folks there. And there was basically one mission that did just that. And a few others I also used, but only one for me like quite hit that sweet spot. And once again, like, as I was saying, by the way, all of this gonna vanish in a few seconds. There we go. Like, in Killing Floor 2 you could have a character stand right on top of a grenade and he would just lose a limb. Here, cutting in half or obliteration, or in a very rare case if he was standing far away, he will in fact just lose a limb or just have the multi-layer thing be activated. Hey, you bastard. Oh, and yeah, and if you shoot them during that time with the shotgun, they'll just get gipped very often. So that as well, so Tripwire, how do you go from shotgun being my favorite weapon in a game to shotgun being just an absolute disappointment? Like seriously, what a damn bloody shaman. With more reliance on the multi-layer damage for the shotgun as well, could have been so good. You know, like, also pump action, I wanna pump a bloody shotgun, you know? Which is also like a small thing, very very small thing. Not gonna say as if it's a big deal, but there is an appeal to pump action shotguns. And just some more obliterations. Tomato soup, as I saw here in the comments. See, Divine Light, the keyword here is at the time, because for a very long while there was nothing remotely as good as Soldier of Fortune 2, not remotely, like. You'd have a game do like a few aspects right, but completely mess up one. And most games would just have very flashy fluff effects that just delivered really lousy response, so the keyword here, Divine Light, is indeed at the time. Because for a long while there was nothing remotely close to Soldier of Fortune 2. So yeah, so if you compare it now to stuff, definitely like it doesn't quite have the same punch as we have other games too. We have other games for a better experience, but for a very long time it was the king of gore, and that honor never goes away from it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. That is the state of the gore in Killing Floor 3, which is unfortunately largely a disappointment. I think with some reconfiguration it could deliver better feedback, but the game also has some pretty major key design issues that are just beyond just needing more time in the oven, so it is what it is. And you know, I think next week, as I was saying, I'm probably gonna be streaming Killing Floor 2 because that comparison comes up a lot, and I don't want to kind of like confirm it isn't just rose tinted glasses, all the mentions of it today, so hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next week, most likely with